What's good, Faith Walkers? Welcome back to the God's Vibes podcast. I've got an encouraging word for you today. If you've been feeling defeated in any kind of way, tired, discouraged, we're coming for you. So if that sounds like something that will bless your heart, encourage your heart, make sure if you haven't, subscribe to God's Vibes. Subscribe to God's Vibes. Bonus points too, and I love that you guys are overachievers. Rate the podcast 5 stars and leave a review. That does something with allowing the podcast to be seen and heard by more people. And you can just testify to the fact that when you hear something that just resonates to your soul, that lands in front of you as an answered prayer, it's life-changing. So we want to be able to be a part of that for more people, and you can be a part of helping us do that. So thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing, for liking, for sharing, all of the things. Couple reminders for this week. We've got 2 things actually this week that you can be a part of. First, we are doing hot seat coaching on Wednesday, the 12th at 2 p.m. Central Time. So we're doing it in the afternoon. We do play with time zones because we know that people are scattered and we want to be able to cater to different time zones. But this is so powerful if you haven't experienced it yet. We have our certified spirit-driven success life coaches on the line with you. It is totally free. You can join us inside Courage Co, www.courageco.org, which is also free to join. You can jump on this live hot seat coaching call and receive coaching in real time on any hot pressing issue that you've got, and you will get coached on it. And it's so powerful and profound what happens when you show up. And even if you don't feel like being in the hot seat, it just benefits being there because you hear from other people and their testimony can become your testimony. And that's something really, really beautiful. So come join us on Wednesday, the 12th at 7 p.m. Central Time. Then also the following night, Thursday at 7 p.m. So Thursday, the 13th at 7 p.m. Central Time, we've got a workshop that's going to be so powerful, okay? This workshop is about how to show up and let God propel you forward, even when, and especially when, you don't feel ready. That can probably resonate with all of us. So this is going to be about how you can step into your power and take a leap of faith, and how you can show up and really just let God propel you forward. So we're going to share a little bit about why we hold back and how to overcome fear. We're going to hear some biblical examples of reluctant obedience, also the power of God's acceleration, and practical steps that you can activate to step into radical faith, shift your mindset, and step boldly into God's plan that is unique to you. It's going to be powerful. Our inner circle certified life coach, Karen, will be hosting this session. It's going to be good. So come join us for that. It is also free. The first part is free. And then if you want to upgrade to the inner circle, you get the extra coaching and mentoring in addition to 4 coaching sessions. So 1 session a week for an entire month. Amazing. Come join us for that. Take the leap. Come on, somebody. Then also, you're going to want to know, we are kicking off 30 Days of Faith Walking on April 1st. And now is the time to register and reserve your spot. We're all doing it. I'm doing it. The leaders are doing it. I'm connecting it to prayer and fasting personally. But whatever your issue is, you can take it on a faith walk. That relationship, take it on a faith walk. That job, take it on a faith walk. Your finances, take it on a faith walk. That unresolved prayer request that is just nagging at you and creating restlessness on the inside, take it on a faith walk. Grab somebody that needs to take something on a faith walk and join us. It's going to be so powerful. We're going to have different leaders leading. It's going to be amazing. This is going to be our best faith walk yet, and we can't wait for you to be there. So come join us. You can register using the details in the show notes. I've also posted some information about that inside Courage Co as well. And if you're new, Courage Co is a space where we do the work. We get to work. We don't just talk about it, we are about it, okay? So there's discipleship, there's prophetic training, there's a life coach certification, there is a signature mastermind, there is our inner circle and coaching. There's so much goodness that's happening in there, but this is really to help kingdom leaders, pioneers, really anybody that wants to partner with the Lord, be used mightily by the Lord, just walk out obedience and knows what that costs. It's for you, okay? So it's not about anything else other than helping you fulfill the assignment that's on your life, okay? And you getting to run with spiritual running buddies and people that are committed to that, because they're usually hard to come by. So you can come join us in there. It is free. We also offer a lot of free things. And so you're welcome to sow into Courage Co. If Courage Co. has blessed you, all of the sewing that goes into Courage Co., which is so beautiful, it goes into sponsoring people into the masterminds, giving people scholarships for the life coach certification, sponsoring people into retreats and events we do. It goes straight into their transformation. So if you've been blessed by Courage Co., all of the free that we offer, if you want to be part of blessing somebody else and having blessings multiplied back to you, you can sow into Courage Co. I have details about that in the show notes and also inside Courage Co. as well. All right, y'all. Let's dive into this message, shall we? Okay, are you ready? The message I have for you is all about how you can unleash your God-given power and step into strength and favor starting today, okay? So this is about the mission to stop holding back because God has equipped you for more. So it's how you can prepare yourself for the more. Because if you don't believe for the more, you won't prepare for it, okay? And if you don't think that God has prepared you for more, then you won't even get the skills, get the training, get the support you need for the more hitting your life, okay? Really, really important. So it's time to stop holding back because God has equipped you for more. And I just want to declare that. Stop holding back. God has equipped and prepared you for more. And when you're walking with God, sometimes, you might want to give an eye roll or a long sigh like, ugh, right? Because it doesn't feel like that all the time. It doesn't look like that. But I can promise you, God doesn't waste anything. He doesn't waste anything, okay? He knows how to redeem. He knows how to reform. He knows how to revive. He knows how to refresh. He knows how to do things, and nothing is too hard for him, okay? Even now. So I want to remind you of something today. You are very powerful. You are very powerful. Now, if you come from self-sabotage, self-defeat, okay, self-criticism, all of that self stuff, you don't feel very powerful because you've been trained not to be. However, you're not just strong, you're not just capable, but very powerful. And powerful people carry themselves differently. They prepare differently and they move differently. And I personally know life can throw things at you that feel way, way, way bigger than you. Challenges that seem impossible, dreams that feel out of reach, struggles that make you wonder if you have what it takes. Anyone? And in the midst of that, it's easy to shrink back, to feel intimidated, and to start believing the lie that you're just not enough. You're not enough. Who are you to do that? Who do you think you are, right? The enemy would love you questioning like that. But here's the truth. The same power that raised Jesus from the dead lives inside of you. And we might hear that as churchy language, but I encourage you to sit with that and meditate on that. Have a pause and calmly think about it, Selah moment, okay? The same power that raised Jesus from the dead, resurrection power, okay, lives inside of you. That means when you feel down to nothing, when you feel weak, that resurrection power, it actually gets activated, okay? When you are weak, God is strong in you, through you, around you, okay? So that means also you're not fighting battles alone. God is backing you up. If he's allowing it, he is backing you up. No obstacle is bigger than the power working within you. No obstacle is bigger than the power working within you, and you are already equipped to overcome whatever is in front of you. And you got to remind yourself of these things when you're facing whatever it is. In a miracle, I often say this, it can just be as simple and profound as a shift in perspective. A miracle is often simply a shift in perspective, where you once believed this, you got exposed to something different, and now you believe this. And suddenly, all things become possible for you. And sometimes the biggest thing holding us back isn't the challenge itself, it's how we see ourselves. And nothing means anything except the meaning that we give it. So often how we see ourselves or how we see our circumstances or even other people is our problem. And that is our problem, not their problem. So when Solomon became king, he probably, if you think about this, felt very unqualified. Okay? His father, David, was a legendary warrior, but Solomon wasn't a fighter. That's weird, right? You would think if your dad is this great warrior that you would also be the same. There's that pressure sometimes to be like that. But he didn't have battle scars or victories on the field. And yet, here's what the Bible says about him. 2 Chronicles 1:1. Solomon took firm control of the kingdom, for the Lord his God was with him and made him very powerful. Come on. God made him very powerful, just like he's made you very powerful. God is with you and makes you very powerful. So how do you activate that power? Well, if you want to start seeing that power at work in your life, here's a few steps that you can take today. Number 1, and this one you really do have to start with, because if you don't get this right, you'll cancel out all the other ones that follow, okay? So number 1, change your self-talk. Change your self-talk. If I were just to, you know those, maybe a fun visual of this, those lie detector tests? They ask you, there's somebody that asks you questions and then it reveals if you're lying or not. Well, there's so many thoughts that go through your brain, and it would just be helpful to have some sort of tool or some sort of assessment like that to tell you that's a lie, that's a lie, that's a lie, so you could start discerning truth, okay? Because a lot of time, what we're doing is talking about lies all day. Change your self-talk. What you say about yourself matters. It affects who you evolve into. So if you're always saying, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, I'll never get past this, you're canceling out the power of God inside of you. So instead of doing that, start declaring, I'm strong, I'm equipped, I'm anointed, I'm powerful, I'm not stuck. God is making a way for me. I have the strength to overcome every obstacle in front of me in Jesus' name. Okay? We have a choice of how we're going to talk to ourselves, and you want to talk to yourself like you're somebody that you value, like you're somebody that you honor, and you're like somebody you love. Because here's the bigger picture. If you don't, you won't speak to others that way. And that's a problem. That's a problem. Number 2, look at your challenges differently. This is a miracle. Again, a shift in perspective. So are you magnifying your problems by how you're looking at them? It's time to flip the script. A little boy once turned his telescope around so his bully looked tiny, and suddenly he wasn't afraid anymore. Maybe, similar to this little boy, you've been looking at your challenges through the wrong end of the telescope. What if, instead of seeing your problems as huge, you saw your power as greater, right? There's something interesting that happens too. Sometimes in the beginning of our faith walk, and throughout it, if we're honest, right? Depending on the size of the problem, we start to have this telescope example. We start seeing the problem as way bigger than the power in us, right? But eventually, you've seen God show up enough, you start recognizing that if that problem is getting that size, the Lord is up to something. And he's going to have a heavenly show out here very soon, okay? Because again, if it is happening, it doesn't mean that God caused it, but if he's allowing it, he's bringing out something greater from it if you choose to partner with him. So say this with me. This situation is not bigger than my God. This situation is not bigger than my God. I may not see the way, but I know God is making a way. Out of nothing, God makes a way. Out of nothing and no way, my God makes a way. If God is for me, who can be against me? Truly, if God is for me, do I believe God is for me? And if he is for me, who can be against me? And I want to caution you about coming against people, because we wrestle now with flesh and blood. We are never to fight against people. Okay? So sometimes we see really bad theology and some poor role models and poor leadership demonstrated where leaders are coming after people. That's not okay. Not okay. Okay? Especially if you have a problem with one person, you are called to go to that person privately. Okay, we're not into public shaming or any of that sort of thing. Now, there is healthy accountability, but many people are not clear on what that looks like, okay? So just a little point with this one. Sometimes we like to come against enemies in the form of people, and that's not what we're doing, okay? Number 3, step out in faith. You don't have to wait until you feel powerful to act like it. That's profound. And it's important that you get this because that is also the faith walk. You don't have to wait until you feel powerful to act like it. In fact, if you're waiting to feel powerful, you probably won't. I think humility is better than feeling powerful. Okay? Obedience doesn't mean that you have to feel like it to obey. Okay? There's just some powerful things that are scripture, that are principles that you can choose despite how you feel. Power is activated when you take step forward. Okay? So you're not going to feel powerful until you're moving. And then you see God empower you. You see grace get activated. God's enablement in you gets activated. So power is activated when you take steps forward, even when and often when you're afraid. Deborah was a mother in Israel. She changed an entire city because she refused to believe she was just a mom. Fascinating, isn't it? She stepped out and God moved. That's often how it works. God is pleased by great faith. So what could shift in your life if you started stepping into your power today? If you stop rehearsing weaknesses, if you stop rehearsing excuses, if you stop murmuring and complaining and you decided you were going to start stepping into your power today just simply because you decided to, what could shift? Here's your next move. I want you to think about one area where you've been shrinking back, whether it's a dream you've been scared to chase, whether it's a challenge you've been avoiding, or a situation where you've been doubting yourself. And we're human, so the key is not to indulge in guilt, shame, or condemnation, okay? But to get radically honest here. Think about one area, okay? This is not a bullying situation. Think about one area where you've been shrinking back, okay? Whether it's a dream you've been scared to chase, a challenge you've been avoiding, or a situation where you've been doubting yourself. Now decide, what is one step you can take today to walk in your power? One step. And quite honestly, this is where coaching becomes really valuable. I know for me, when I first started working with my very first life coach, this was back in 2008 that I started working with my very first coach. You can just imagine what the world was like then and how crazy that was in hindsight, right? But I remember saying yes to working with a coach, terrified about the investment because I'd never really invested in myself in that way, right? It just felt so out of body in a lot of ways. But I was actually more afraid of what was going to happen if I didn't work with this woman. I was afraid of the questions I wasn't going to answer, the way other people would control my life because I didn't decide to be powerful, the ways that things would just seem so chaotic and overwhelming all of the time because I refused to start showing up for myself. And frankly, I didn't know how to, and I needed to ask for help and get support in that way. And she was going to hold space and help me do it. Okay. So coaching is often a space where you can start working with somebody that is objective, somebody that is neutral, somebody that's not a friend, somebody that's not a family member, right? They're there to draw the gold out in you, to ask really powerful questions, to help you mine what is in you. They are here to keep God at the center. They are here to help you pray and obey. They are here to help you break through. And it's quite an interesting relationship. I don't really feel like there's anything like it in our life. Because yes, we have people that love us and we have friends and all sorts of things like that, right? But they're limited in the sense that they're connected to other things too. They've got their own problems to deal with. But when you have somebody that's totally dedicated to you, like their focus is solely on you, they don't have any other agenda but helping you win, that does something to you. That actually models the Lord. And that's really powerful when you've never had anyone model that for you. So I just encourage you, if you've never invested in coaching or if you've been wondering about coaching, invest in the Courage Co Inner Circle. In this inner circle, you get 4 60-minute coaching sessions a month. You get 1 live workshop with the coaches every month in addition to previous trainings. So you can just literally go through all of the trainings that are in there in a month's time. It is super generous. There's nothing like it. And it's really all for the price of 1 coaching session. You get 6 60-minute sessions, okay? To give you context, to actually get something like that, you would have to pay close to $3,500 to give you an idea. And you pay nowhere near that. It's actually insane. And something that you could do too, if it comes up. I've had many people send their teenagers to work together in coaching. It's really beautiful. You can enroll your teens in this. You can gift this to a friend that could really be blessed by coaching. If they're afraid to invest in themselves, let's say, you can bless them with this gift where they don't even have to pay for that investment initially. They get to just show up because you bless them. So if that's something you're interested in doing, you can email info@julianapage.com. You can sponsor a month, and then we'll give them the opportunity to renew if they choose to do so. So the inner circle is great. If you're interested in working with myself, you can start with a breakthrough coaching session. That's a really great way, but you can also email info@julianapage.com and we can send you those details. Okay? But key here, ask for help. Okay? Being powerful is not something that we just wake up and we're like, I'm powerful. That would be great if that is how it worked. But with challenges, with adversities, with the risks that we're being asked and required to make, we don't feel powerful. And so we need support in our life to help us steady ourselves and help us be stable, help us be reliable, help us be accountable to what God is entrusting to us, and help us steward it well and with excellence, help us walk in integrity, help us evolve and grow into who God sees us as. That's some real work. You know, it's actually not as hard to shrink and to play small. We already know what that looks like. You already know the energy that's required, which is a lot of energy, actually in the opposite direction. But if you just little by little started investing in yourself in the opposite direction, you could build momentum way quicker than you think. So I encourage you to do that. A great place to start too is the 30 Days of Faith Walking program. So there's going to be live coaching in there every week. It's a self-guided program. The different lessons each day are between 15 and 30 minutes. So they're really, really, really digestible on purpose. Okay. And you get to go through that in 30 days. So I highly recommend right now enrolling in that program, getting familiar with that space, putting it on your calendar so you can just hit the ground running April 1st. You can plan for it. If you're going to connect a fast to it, there is no requirement to do that. But if you are going to do that, it gives you time to plan and prepare for that as well. Okay, so much to get plugged into. You can find all of the details about this inside Courage Co, www.courageco.org. I hope this message blessed you, and until next time, stay blessed. Listen, if you are not plugged into Courage Co yet, what are you doing? Courage Co is a faith-based community off social media that you can access from your phone or your desktop, literally from anywhere. It is a safe place and a sacred space for you to invest in and live your most courageous and impactful story. You can join us for free for prayer calls and challenges, for a monthly subscription where we have monthly masterclasses, or the God's Vibes Mastermind, where you will get live master life coaching at a price that you won't get anywhere else. 12 weeks of content that we will go through together, or you can navigate at your own pace. You'll have lifetime access to that. A community of women doing this alongside of you, a workbook, and so many other materials to help you on your journey. And I just want you to imagine for a second, having the courage, clarity, and focus to achieve anything you desire. Walking into any situation fully confident, knowing you have everything you need to succeed. Embracing challenges and overcoming obstacles with grace and ease. Feeling only love and compassion for others, no matter how they may have hurt you in the past. Standing up for what you believe in and taking unstoppable action to create the kind of world you want to live in. You're in the right place to take your next step on your journey. When you plug into the God's Vibes Mastermind, I'll teach you how to identify and eliminate the self-limiting beliefs and habits that are stopping you from getting the results you want. I'll teach you how to heal old wounds that have negatively impacted your self-image and self-esteem for far too long. I'll show you how to dismantle the story of who you are and what you can or cannot do in the world. I'll help you expand your consciousness from fear-based limitation to love and compassion and service to the world. I'll help you vanquish the inner enemies that are stopping you from being all that you can be. Release your victimhood and reclaim your power. Develop a aligned mindset and habits to boost your productivity and results. Gain deeper awareness of your own inner light and divinity, and achieve the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual self-mastery needed to achieve any goal. You will learn how to think the way God formed, shaped, and anointed you to think, and succeed the way He always intended, and show up in any situation as the most powerful person in the room, no matter what challenges might appear on your path. If this sounds like something that you want to be a part of, I want to invite you to join the God's Vibes Mastermind. You can get plugged into it over at Courage Co. You can access Courage Co at any level at www.courageco.org. Together, we will awaken your inner warrior spirit and unleash your capacity to achieve any goal you can imagine. You will become an example of what's possible with God.